Warning, what you are about to watch was made for fans of video games. We do not pretend to be experts, nor do we want to be. Our opinions do not reflect the beliefs of the brands or companies that may appear in this show. If you are a fanboy, toxic piece of sludge, or a grade A asshat, this show may not be for you.
Can you see me?
Let's just film the video.
Zip it! The ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage is here!
Oh my god! Yes, negativity sells, and it sure as hell makes clicking your thumbnails a lot easier. But I, as a gamer, as a nerd, as a creator, I am so tired of being upset for clicks.
Are you listening?
Yeah, we're here. We are here in the studio. It's another episode of the Nerf Report. Things look a little different, or if you didn't know we went through a weird change, things might look similar, but we're back. Weekly podcast talking about the gaming news from the week, and quite frankly, we do have a lot to talk about. We've got like brand new games that were announced this week that personally, 3 of them that we're about to talk about, I'm very, very excited about. We got a new segment, which, dare I say, might be my new favorite thing that we've ever done on this show, and it's titled This Week in Kotaku. So let your mind run with that one. Analogue just announced a brand new version of the Pocket. eSports is coming to the Olympics. Finally, I feel like we started this show almost 7 years ago, and I feel like we've been talking about that for 7 years now, and it's finally happening. Another one, I didn't want y'all to miss this. Amazon has Prime Day coming up, and they are giving away 3 absolutely really cool games. Usually when you hear about free games, it's like, I'm not going to get it. But these ones you don't want to miss, so we're going to talk about that. And then finally, a little topic came across the radar this week called the Game Awards, or the Real Game Awards. And I've seen a lot of negativity about it. I've seen a lot of hate, and obviously we're going to be diving into that because I've got some thoughts. And again, this is an open conversation. If you have thoughts, let us know in the comment section. Let us know where you're coming from on this. And more specifically, let us know kind of what you've been playing. What games are you playing right now? I know for me, I have been playing for the first time Ghosts of Tsushima, which I regret that it has taken me this long to play this game because Ghosts of Tsushima is a masterpiece. Like, I think I posted on Twitter X this week, and I said something along the lines of Ghost of Tsushima is the greatest open world adventure game that PlayStation has ever made. And I thought it was going to be a lot more controversial, but I think some of you kind of agreed with me. You're like, yeah, you're onto something. But I think when you really break down like PlayStation games, Last of Us is not a true open world exploration game. God of War is a masterpiece, but God of War is a very linear open world. You know, there's places you can explore, but there's walls. You can only go so far. Horizon, I've never been able to enjoy Horizon. I don't know what it is about that game, but it's just never sunken its teeth into me the way that Ghost of Tsushima has. I mean, if you haven't played it, definitely check it out. We'll probably be running a trailer of it as I'm talking about it, but visually, the game is stunning. The gameplay is fantastic. The story is really cool. It takes place in like the feudal Japan era, and like you're this samurai who is like pretty much close to dying and then gets rescued, and you have to build an army to save your uncle and reunite the island. It's such a cool game. And like, I think I've got to be at least like 10 or 12 hours into the game at this point, and I haven't reached a point where I'm like, oh, that's a duplicate, or oh, I've seen this before. And like, obviously open world games have like missions that are like very similar, but it's just, there's something that keeps popping up in this game that gets me excited. I just realized, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is an open world adventure game from PlayStation. And let me think about that for a second while I take a sip of water. Is Spider-Man better than Ghost of Tsushima? Ooh, that's a tough one. I gotta say, in my opinion, Spider-Man definitely has a very emotional story that I enjoyed. The gameplay of Spider-Man's good. Spider-Man might beat Ghosts. Although I'm really, really enjoying Ghosts. I'm going to put them both the same. I'm going to say they're equal. So if you enjoyed Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation, all I'm trying to say is check out Ghost of Tsushima. I'm having a killer time with it. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm kind of bummed that it's taken me this long to kind of get to it. And really, I'm looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima 2. Did I just say that right? Ghost of Tsushima 2. It sounded like I said Ghost of Tsushimi. Yeah, that's a sushi game. No, Ghost of Tsushima 2. I feel like it's been announced. I don't know if it has been, but I'm really looking forward to that one. But speaking of new game announcements, we do have 3 games that got announced this week that I felt were worth talking about. Number 1, Planet Coaster 2. This game got announced this week, and it's going to be launching later in the fall. But the cool thing that they're doing with Planet Coaster 2 is instead of just saying, hey, you get to run a theme park and that's it, you actually get to run a water park on the side. And I think that's kind of a cool mechanic, right? The trailer shows like water rides and roller coasters kind of blending in together, which I think will really open things up. But again, I go back to like my Roller Coaster Tycoon games and how much of a terrible park owner that I was, that I would literally just like torture my guests. And now that I know you have water park things, it's like, God, what potential do you have there? So anyway, Planet Coaster 2, it's launching later this fall for PC and consoles. Definitely check this out. I think it's going to be a great game at the end of the year. The second game we got to talk about is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that came out of nowhere. This game may have already been a thing. I knew nothing about it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutants Unleashed. This seems like it's going to be like a hack and slash adventure game, and again, it's got that cool new Ninja Turtle look that they've been kind of going with the series, where it's kind of like cartoonish, but it's also got hints of like realism and grittiness. And again, I love TMNT, so I'm never gonna like turn down these games, even like if they're designed for kids. I think that this game, you know, number one, as a parent, it's something that I'd be like, yeah, let me play with my kids when they get older. But also, it's something that as a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, I look at and I'm like, that looks like a fun game. And definitely we'll be checking that out. I think it's safe to say Leonardo is going to be the main character I play with. I love Donatello. I love Mikey. I love Raph. But man, Mikey is probably my number 2. But Leonardo is the guy to go with there. And the final game, it's kind of weird. I don't even know if this is a game. Nintendo kind of threw like a curveball out this week. Emio. I don't know what it is, but it's this trailer that Nintendo posted onto social media that shows a gentleman standing with a brown paper bag over his face, and he's just standing there, and it says, "Who is Emio?" Now, 2 schools of thought. One, this is going to be like a groundbreaking horror game, which is right up my alley. I absolutely adore anything that's a horror video game. But, what if? Stay with me here. Switch 2. What if this is the first trailer that we're getting for the Switch 2 and we don't even know it? Like, Emio. What if it's the Nintendo Emio and that's what they're calling it? It's, I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine that curveball that, like, Nintendo's like, we're going to make them think it's a horror game, but it's the first teaser of our new console. Probably not. It's probably a horror video game. But anyway, I definitely think this game looks cool. We're going to link all 3 trailers in the description of the video and also in the description of the podcast. So definitely check them out when you have some free time. But of course, from new game trailers, I'd love to go visit our friends over at Kotaku, who every single week post amazing gaming journalism that we get to talk about on this show. And this week we got something special for you on This Week in Kotaku. Let me just pull this article up because I don't want to misquote it. The fine folks over at Kotaku this week posted an article right before we went live here in the studio. Said, Doom fans have gone too far. They have ported the shooter onto a sex toy and proceeded to show a photo of a vibrator running Doom. Now, based off the video, it looks like every time you fire the trigger, the vibrator goes off, which some people might be into that. But, yeah, Doom is one of those games that they literally get it running anywhere, right? Like, I saw it on a pregnancy test. I've seen it there. We ran a video that got me in trouble with McDonald's workers where we basically made fun of the fact that they could get Doom to run on a McDonald's cash register, but they don't know how to work ice cream machines. And so essentially, This is an electronic fleshlight, according to Kotaku, and they put in parentheses a sex toy molded after a body part that you stick your bits in. I'm sure that's probably the most PC way you could describe a fleshlight. But hey, fleshlight, we're looking for sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor, fleshlight, just we'll test Doom out on this. And according to Kotaku saying, if you kill a Doom, you get a little bit of pleasure. And quite frankly, what's wrong with that? Right? I play the game with the controller, I kill a demon, and I get excited, my endorphins run up. Why not just get physical pleasure? There's a video, ladies and gentlemen, and it's called Dong Doom, the special pleasing experience. Let's check this video out real quick for real-time reactions. So right here, he's showing that Doom is running on a toothbrush with a screen. Pretty cool. And there it is. The Typho run. That's not a fleshlight. That's a Typho run. Oh. That's clearly how you use it. But it's got a screen. He's showing that it's got Doom running on the screen. And I guess there's buttons at the top of the sex toy that allow you to move Doom guy around and kill demons. And he's putting it up close to the camera, and you can hear every time you shoot it, it obviously, like Kotaku said, it gives you pleasure. All right, he's hooking up. Hold on. I was about to end this, but he's got... I thought he was like hooking up a controller. No, he plugged in headphones because apparently you can listen to the audio of yourself killing demons as you're getting pleasured. Cool video. So that came from... Who posted this? Because Kotaku wasn't the original creator. This was from YouTube creator... What do we got here? First Descendants ad, get out of the way. This comes from Aaron Christophel over on YouTube. Of course, we'll link to his video in the description as well. But yeah, congratulations. This week in Kotaku, Doom runs on sex toys. So thank you to the fine folks over there. Analogue is one of those companies that when they first came out with their Pocket and they announced it, I genuinely was a doubter. I was kind of a hater, and I was like, there's no way people are going to spend money for this. But people sure have. And Analogue has announced a brand new version of the Pocket this week that I think will hit like for certain customers, but also I'm looking at this like from a cost perspective, and I'm like, you're out of your freaking mind. Analogue Pocket will be offering an aluminum version of the Pocket. It's going to be launching in July. It'll be available in 4 different colors: the natural, the noir, black, and indigo. The cost will be $499, which of course is up from the initial cost of the regular Analogue Pocket, which is $219. And at $499, I get it's aluminum, it's metal, it's sexy, it's cool, it'll have weight, it'll feel expensive, but like, you're reaching PlayStation 5 territory. And again, we're talking about different types of gamers out there, but I always put myself into the feet of like consumers. And if I'm going to a store and I'm like, I can buy that handheld, or I can buy a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox, 100% going to be going with the consoles on that one. But that, of course, is just me. Analogue Pocket selling in July, $499. Sound off in the comment section, please. I'm very interested to know where you guys land on this. Am I completely out of it? Do you own a Pocket? Because I don't. What do you use it for? What do you like it for? Again, this is one of those areas that I know nothing about. I have zero experience with the product. So again, I might be just talking out of my ear here, and someone would be like, dude, the Pocket's the greatest handheld ever. So please let me know in the comment section if you held it firsthand. But another interesting story this week that I wanted to talk to y'all about was the Olympics. Apparently the Olympics are happening right now. I don't know if it's just my life is so busy having 2 kids now, taking care of my newborn son along with my 2-year-old daughter. I had no clue the Olympics were happening. And they're happening, and they were in the news this week because in 2025, eSports are going to be in the Olympics. Now, the article doesn't explain what type of video games are going to be in there. In the past, when we've covered this, it's always been like cycling, basketball, tennis, and there's like things that people do, but like I think when people see esports in the Olympics, they automatically just assume Call of Duty or like Overwatch. And I'm waiting for that day. Because honestly, the esports that are going to be in the Olympics, they're not going to be like popular first party or like, you know, games that thousands of people are playing. It's going to be very niche games. And I hope they prove me wrong. I'd love to see Fortnite in the Olympics. I'd love to see Call of Duty in the Olympics, but I know the Olympics have a very like non-violent, non-blood. Like we want this to be family friendly, so that's why we're going to see things like tennis and basketball, and probably F1 would be interesting. You know, if you got like those the simulation cars and they put like goggles on or whatever and had to drive. That could be an interesting esport for the Olympics, because I don't know if car racing is currently in the Olympics, but as big as like I'm getting into F1 recently, thanks to like Netflix, and I would be interested in watching like F1 racing for the Olympics. I think that would be really interesting. Every country builds their own car, and obviously like Japan is going to have like some of the best cars, but America, we've got good cars too, but I think it'd be interesting to see. Very, very interesting to watch. But, yeah, let me know. Olympics in the esports, what do you think it'll be? Are you going to try out? I'd love to hear it. If you guys are going to be an Olympic athlete, that's awesome. Probably the only chance I'm going to even have to be an Olympic athlete is through video games, because nothing else could I accomplish. So maybe I'll have to pick up one of these games and like go on an Olympic journey here on the channel. Other thing we wanted to talk about before we jumped off today is Amazon Prime Day is coming up on July 16th. And every year, Amazon gives out tons of video games on Prime Day, so do not miss those. Make sure you're downloading them if you have a PC. But this year, they just announced 3 really solid games that are going to be for free. The first one is going to be Rise of the Tomb Raider, which that whole Tomb Raider remake, I absolutely adore. I think it's one of the best games of the series, and it definitely worth checking out if you haven't picked it up yet. Chivalry 2, another really cool game that if you're into like hack and slash and sword and shield combat, worth picking up. But the final game that interested me was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And this game got reviewed very poorly from like traditional gaming media, but I've also seen a lot of people play it talking about like how fun it is, and like for free, the game's definitely worth checking out. You know, if you're paying $60, $70, that's a different review than getting it for free. I, for one, am going to be checking it out. I'm going to be picking up Kill the Justice League for sure. I love everything that studio has done in the past. And again, this is one of those things that I'm always encouraging people. Don't take my word for it. Don't take other creators' words for it. Make your own opinion. And use that opinion as your own. Like, tell me in the comment section what your opinion is. And if I say this game's bad, you're more than welcome to tell me I'm wrong and why the game's good, and I want you to. So, yeah, Kill the Justice League, definitely going to be picking that up. Highly recommend you do that. I think it's only for that time period, so it is something you have to act on when it goes live on July 16th, so do not miss that. But the final thing is kind of a big topic, and I wasn't going to cover it, but then I was like, no, we probably should cover it. The Real Game Awards. This has been a very interesting topic to kind of see come across the internet. So, long story short, Stuttering Craig is the individual we're talking about here. He used to run Screw Attack for Rooster Teeth, and then kind of, I don't want to say was let go, but either disappeared. This hit my radar when he posted a tweet this week that says, "It's become even more obvious that the people who work in and write about the industry that you love hate you. Let's take action and reclaim our voice in video games. Hashtag Take Games Back is now the Real Game Awards, the official award show for gamers. Learn more below." And instead of me putting in words and trying to like summarize what this guy is saying, I really wanted to take the opportunity and watch this with you, because I think a lot of times things could be misconstrued of me assuming where he's coming from. So let's watch this video real quick.
A few months ago when I announced Take Games Back, I, like many of you, had pretty much just reached a tipping point. I was, and am, just sick and tired of seeing gamers just disrespected by journalists and even people within the video game industry. It is amazing to see an industry that has just such disregard for its customers. Take Games Back was and is a call to action, because something
We'll let him go through, but I just wanted to jump in here. I don't know if developers hate gamers, but and personally, I don't think that there's developers out there who are like targeting gamers and be like, oh, I hate him, because I think the majority of developers are like, hey, thanks for playing my game, just like I am. Like, thanks for watching my video. I'm not like I hate my audience. I think that's while I kind of get where you're coming from, and there are some bad actors, to say that every developer kind of hates gamers is a bit of a reach, but let's just see what else he has to say.
Because something has to be done. And since I made that first announcement, journalists, consultants, and industry activists have almost like doubled down. We've seen journalists dox people, literally call people's wives, and even challenge people to physical fights. I mean, what a joke. As I said before, it's one big club, and you're not even invited to it. And
so that's something that's very interesting. And it's something that I've kind of thought about for a while, is that when you look at gaming media and the gaming media landscape, and granted, YouTube, Twitch, and social media have kind of like democratized this a little bit. But when you look at like the major outlets and the people that developers work with and the people who are creating like the content that's influencing the market, the majority of those individuals do come from like LA, New York, or San Francisco. And again, I'm not trying to take like a political pulpit here, but there is a very big difference between the opinion of someone in LA or San Francisco and someone that lives in Nebraska, Kansas City, Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas, even like Nashville. You know, there are different opinions, different beliefs, different strategies. And it very much does feel like a club from the outside looking in. And that's not like sour grapes. It's just saying it as it is, that like there are people out there who are part of the select crew that are like getting all the leads, they're getting all the games, they're getting all the cool interviews, and that's because they have the audience. But at the same time, the people surrounding those people don't really seem to be pushing back. They just seem to be kind of agreeing. And again, it kind of creates boring content, in my opinion, is that when you watch when you watch 5 podcasts in a row and everybody says the same thing and they have the exact same opinion, it's like, what makes us different? Like, why should I listen to your show when I could listen to, and I'm not pointing IGN here, but like, why should I listen to IGN when IGN has the same opinion as Kind of Funny, or What's Good Games has the same opinion as these guys? And that's the thing, is that like the Cool Kids Club is kind of what it seems like, and they all have the same opinion, and it comes off in the sense that they don't want to offend or bite the hands that are feeding them, whereas like, I don't know, creators like myself, creators like, I even hate saying that because it's not like my section of the internet is even close to the size of like a Kind of Funny, but at the same time, it does feel like there is a Cool Kids Club that you can't reach unless you're living in San Francisco or unless you're living in LA. And maybe that's on us as gamers, that we need to create new pockets of gaming media. Like maybe it's on me that I need to partner with more people in Austin, Texas, and create an Austin, Texas hub of creators that create content just like they do in San Francisco and attract developers out here. But anyway, conversation for another day, but let's see what else Stuttering Craig has to say.
And the worst part about it is that these people have the gall to think that they get to decide the best games of the year at some overly corporatized, super sterile award show that plays it safe.
Those are some very strong words. Anyway, we'll dive into that a little bit.
Plays it safe. Not anymore. Starting today, Take Games Back is officially called the Real Game Awards. I've always thought the phrase for gamers, by gamers is extremely cliche, but I gotta be honest, that's exactly what the Real Game Awards is. You decide what you like best, not some activist blogger out of San Francisco or New York. We're gonna remove all that bullshit product placement and all that celebrity nonsense that's thrown in there. Get right to the core of it. It's about games. If you're tired of all the nonsense in the video game industry and want to help reclaim the voice for actual gamers, become a voting member of the Real Game Awards. And hell yes, we're gonna gatekeep, which is why it costs $30 a year to become a voting member.
Huh, that's interesting. $30 to vote. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, $30 to make an impact in the industry, it's not a lot. I know other award shows do charge money to get in. The Game Awards does not. And the Game Awards I think are under scrutiny for like a lot of things right now. So it's kind of interesting that this is coming up because, the Game Awards very much so is not about celebrating games. It's a marketing venue where they can charge developers to get their trailers in. They can work with, companies like, I know Google Stadia gave out free Stadia passes at the Game Awards. And you better believe they paid Jeff Keighley and the Game Awards to be able to give out those free coupons. But it's just a marketing event. Like, you're getting the top influencers in the world in the room and you're marketing to them to say, like, hey, talk about my game this year. Charging's interesting. Charging's interesting because it does, in a way, democratize it in the sense that, one, a lot of times when you open voting up to the fans, you do get these campaigns. Like, if I were to say Game of the Year, here's a Nintendo game, here's a PlayStation game, here's an Xbox game, I can guarantee you Nintendo fans and their army of anime profile pictures are going to be like flooding the votes and getting that going. When you monetize it and you make people pay for it, it does seem like that would be a good solution to weeding out any bad actors or weeding out any negativity. But anyway, there's a lot that he said. There's some stuff I don't agree with 100%, but the real Game Awards charging for it, it's interesting. And I think we got a little bit more of this video, so let's finish this out and then we'll dive back in.
If you become a member today, guess what? We're actually taking suggestions for categories right now. Yes, you will decide the categories voted on.
I should sign up and launch a category that says Best YouTube Video Game News Host Working Out of Their Garage at the Age of 34. And that'll be and then I'll win. That's what we'll do. We'll pay $30, suggest this award category, and then I'm going to win because I'm literally just describing myself. And if we need to, we'll streamline it anymore. Best YouTube content creator who's white, has a beard, works out of his garage, and is failing beyond belief. And we'll put it right next to my Cloud Gaming Award that I have right here. The Content Creator of the Year Cloud Gaming Award. We'll put it right next to there. I think that'd be a good $30. $30 well spent, in my opinion.
Voted on in this year's award show. In 2024, we want to do a digital event because our goal is simple. We want to save as much money as we can for 2025 where we can hold a physical event. I don't care if we do it at a Buffalo Wild Wings. The point is, we gotta take action. With that said, it's time for you to take action and help reclaim the voice for gamers in this industry and hobby that we all love. Go to therealgameawards.com and become a voting member and start suggesting categories literally right now.
Huh. So this was responded to pretty negatively. At the time of filming this, it's got over 1.8 million views over on Twitter and 405 quote retweets. And I saved some of them just because I thought they were pretty interesting, if you will. And let me just pull these up real quick because right off the bat, the dude pretty much just went straight for the fences. And I shouldn't say dude, Stuttering Craig went straight for the fences. And basically talked about the sense of number one, the people who create games or talk about games, they hate you. And anytime you use the word hate, it's a very strong language. I do think that a lot of times gamers don't appreciate it or don't understand how hard it is to create content. But the thing is when you swing for the fences, you have to assume that you're going to get blowback like he got right here. And a prime example is look, I don't even need to do the digging. He's basically shown it himself. He has a photo here showing the amount of people that have commented back here and have responded negatively. It's pretty sad to see how he started versus what he does now. What a wild grift, asking people to pay for the privilege of an award show. Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I kind of. God, it must be nice to be a right-wing grifter. You can just go and name yourself Buttface McGillicuddy and tell people to send $50 to vote for the For Realsies Real Mega Real It's Real game. That's a good joke. I mean, granted, he's calling him Buttface McGillicuddy, but he's also like, we're going to call the game show For Realsies Real Mega Real It's the Real Game Awards that are real. And, look, the guy has had a lot of negativity, and I don't know Craig, but I got to assume he had to know that was coming. But here's the thing, since announcing this, the Real Game Awards now have 300 members, 300 voting members, which is crazy. Because on one hand, you're seeing all these influencers be threatened because they don't want to lose their influence, they don't want to lose their impact that they have on gaming. And I do think that there has been, for the longest time, a void in the voice of gamers. Again, not attacking anybody in particular, but California has a very California production, very Californian opinion. And Texas is a little different. Nashville's a little different. Heck, New York is different than California. And it's that's why I feel like having such a diverse cast of individuals that talk about things that come from different paths of life and different things is so important. But when that gets overridden by the fact of, oh, I don't want to piss off X creator, so I'm just going to agree with him, even though I disagree, that's where I think you begin to have issues. So take games back, the Real Game Awards. I wish him luck, man. I think anyone who's setting off on an adventure to improve the video game industry and to help the video game industry and to just respect developers more, I think deserves support of doing it. I am very interested in signing up. Very interested. Not that I think that my opinion matters. I play. Being a dad now, I think I get to play 2 to 3 games a year. I literally am just now playing Ghost of Tsushima, so I wouldn't be able to vote on Game of the Year to make that recommendation. But the idea of creating my own category for bearded white man who films news shows out of his garage at the age of 34 and is failing miserably. I mean, we've got to be a shoo-in for that one, right? And none of you other 34-year-old content creators watching this, don't you start growing a beard. Don't. Because that's my category. All right? I'm going to win bearded failure filming out of his garage from the Real Game Awards. Let's go. But yeah, that's the gaming news for this week. Definitely make sure to hit up those Amazon deals. Let me know which game you're going to pick out. And honestly, not just the Real Game Awards, but any of the topics we talked about. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm very intrigued to hear from you. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, supporting the channel. And until next time, we will see you in the next video.
Are you listening?